how much it costs us to be at this level of a democracy in this country. These young boys are trying to destabilize Nigeria.
Hey, at this point, I think Nigeria is doomed forever. My people, I don't understand. What do we call this now? I beg, I need an answer. What do we call this? They said these children wanted to overthrow the T-Pain government. My people, how? How is that possible? These children you are seeing right here, they are from 10 years of age. How is that possible? I can't just believe what I'm hearing. So these children have been in that cell since August of this year. My people, see as all these children look. They look so sicky. They even said 3 or 4 of them collapsed in the court. Can you just imagine? And these people, they have their own children at home, if not in abroad. Komani Dafun Gbogbo all the people, all our leaders, Nigeria government, they arrange children. My people, they even said that these children, they have to pay 10 million each for their bail. These children that you are seeing right here. When the other guy, the stupid senator that slapped somebody, that wanted to make someone to disappear, was granted 500K for his bail. These children you are seeing right here, me and you, they see them. They see them now. They say make them pay 10 million naira each. See the country we find ourselves. T-Pain under your nose. Under your government, they arrange children go court. All because of waiting. Because of say these children, they came out to protest for their own right. Make una tell me, so it's not an offense for Nigerians to protest. Tell me, which way we go use to talk to una since we can't protest? Una no one make we protest again. Una go try harder. Yes, una just the start. What do we call this? What kind of a devilish people do we have as a leaders in Nigeria? I thought I've seen it all. They beg all the human rights activists in Nigeria, please make una get up, stand for these children. Oh, I beg, we are begging. We mothers, we are on our knees. We dey beg una. Help these children. Don't let them be jailed, please. They are our future. They are our lives. We are begging you people. Please help us on this case. Help us because they were children. They know nothing. And besides, these people were fighting for their rights. How is that an offense? These people, they shall not want us to talk at all. Anything they do, we should just take her as a cream and rub our body with it. The way this government, they oppress us, the way this government, they oppress we citizens of Nigeria, we say enough. We say enough is enough. It is well. So my people, watch this.
Why should small children, why should they spend 93 days in police custody when they should be in school? And the government can arrest 10, 12, 13-year-old and keep them in custody for 93 days. But the government has not been able to arrest Yabelo 6 months after. Is it not a parody of some sort that we have 2 separate countries? One country for the rich, one country for the poor. Our laws are very clear. It's 48 hours. The police are in breach of the fundamental rights of these children. So we are not going to delve into the substance of the issue, which is already before the court, so that we will not make remarks that are subjudice. But what we are saying, very simple, Yaya Bello, 6 months later, has not been arrested. But you arrest our children, you keep them in custody for 93 days. These children, they are already looking like they have kwashiorkor. They are malnourished. You understand? Then you cannot keep them in custody for this long. This is the reasons why our rating in the Human Rights Index is poor, is bad. You understand? The Tinubu government should discontinue the charge. We make a passionate appeal to the AGF, Baba Latif Fagbemi, that he should discontinue the charge. He should take over the matter and discontinue against these children, so that the children can return back to school. And the Attorney General of the Federation has the inherent powers to take over this matter under Section 174 of the Constitution, that Baba Latif Fagbemi should take over this matter and discontinue the charge against the children. I cried in open court because of this grave injustice that has been done to these kids.
Talk, you die. If you don't talk, you die. So we'll talk and die. generally in court?
While we were in court this morning, and shortly before the plea of the defendants, mainly underage children, could be taken, some of them who were looking quite malnourished, who were looking quite very sick, started slumping in court before the Honorable Justice Egwatu. Justice Egwatu, upon seeing the fainting of these young persons of school age, had to had to stand down proceedings abruptly. We had to rush some of these young children to the clinic within the facility of the court for them to be resuscitated. Some of them are still receiving treatment as I speak to you in the clinic. These young persons has been arrested since the 2nd day of August, 2024. Over 3 months, they've been left without clothing, without housing, without proper care. They are looking very malnourished, as you can see the videos that are flying around social media. They were kept at the Kuje Correctional Center and at the IRT, the notorious IRT at SAS Abattoir. IRT now, that is where they are kept, at SAS Abattoir. Now, this is the facility that has held our young children who should be in school that are being kept by this government over allegations of attempting to overthrow the president. The question now comes to how can a 12, 13, 14-year-old boy who is looking very frail and malnourished attempt to overthrow the president? That is a matter for another day. But we have filed an application contesting and challenging the powers of the courts to try these young persons. And this objection is founded on very solid foundation. The Constitution of Nigeria in Section 18 vests on the government the responsibility of educating young persons. The Universal Basic Education Act and the Children and Young Persons Act vest upon the government the duty to educate its younger ones. Section 2 of the UBEC Act mandates the government to provide education for its young persons. Free, compulsory education for all young persons. Unfortunately, young Nigerians have been arraigned in court today on a 10-count charge of an attempt to overthrow and overhaul the government of Nigeria. They have been granted bail. We will strive hard to meet the bail conditions if we can. The conditions are quite neck-breaking. It is like giving bail with the right hand and taking with the left hand. We will strive and do our best to perfect these conditions. But if we cannot meet those conditions, we will come back to the courts and seek for a variation. Because we have shown that these are young persons who are hungry. The essence of the protest of August 2nd is to end hunger in the land. And we saw them in court today, looking quite malnourished. The problem persists.
Well, what actually happens... It's okay, thank you.
No, this is the week. Go ahead.
What actually happens today is that the 76 defendants were brought for arraignment who were alleged to have participated in this violent uprising against the government in Kano State. What actually baffles me today is that a matter of a sovereign national interest, a situation where a youth of this particular country would organize themselves into a violent protest, calling on an outsider to come and take over power from the government of Nigeria, otherwise than by constitutional means. This situation will never be tolerated.
So you were the details of the ruling.
What actually happened? The details of the ruling is that the matter has been adjourned to January 24 for the substantive hearing of the matter so far. And the court has graciously granted a bail on a very, very stringent conditions, which they are to be remanded in Kuje Correctional Centers, while others are to be remanded in the Boston Trading, pending the hearing of the substantive charge. Well, but the point I want to make, I just want to make a point, please. These people have been in lawful custody of the police for a considerable length of time, and none of them exhibited any sickness. But unfortunately, they were instigated by lawyers. Yes, Garba.
These boys that we brought to the court today, all of them are adults. Most of them are married men. None of them is a minor. Some of them are university graduates. The small kids you are seeing here, they came with some of their parents to come and greet their loved ones. They are not even the real suspect standing trial in this case. These boys were arrested in Kaduna and Zaria. Imagine the level we find ourselves now. Do you know how much it costs us to be at this level of a democracy in this country? These young boys are trying to destabilize Nigeria using the Russian flags and other countries, calling on the military to remove our president. Is it fair to even remove the state governors that they don't want democracy again? If you don't like democracy, are we forcing you? You go back home and sit. Everybody is enjoying their fundamental rights. Nobody is abusing their rights. Everybody is enjoying free movement, and everything's are moving fine in the country. These boys only for no reason. They started protests, violent protests with the flags, foreign flags, Russian flags. Haba, is that what we want in this country? Don't mind the Defense Council. They will always say something to tarnish the name of Nigerian police. It's not true. In my own case, we filed charge against 43 defendants, and all of them were produced to the court today. All of them are adults. Forget about what they are telling you, that they are small children, this and that. Ask the Defense Council, do they truly know the suspect they're defending?
I want to understand something. The first set that were arraigned this morning, that were granted 10 million.
I am not in that first case. My case is the second case. My case is the suspect, the defendants there are 43. So don't ask me about any case that I'm not involved. My name, I am Rimam Somte Ezekiel. I'm the Chief Superintendent of Police.
So my people, hope una don't hear everything. Una hear wetin they come out from this yeye man, Ezekiel Sunday. Una dey hear wetin they talk. I beg my people, if you are looking for a Satan, na him be Satan. I'm telling you this. This man right here, na him be Satan. Can you just imagine wetin this man dey vomit from his mouth? He say in the talk. He say those children, they were adult. He say Nigerians, we were living our best. Can you just imagine? For this 2024, that's everything we are going through in Nigeria is clear to everybody in this world. You are standing there. They open your mouth, they lie to the whole world. Mr. Sunday Ezekiel, everything where those children go through for that kri, you and your children, una go through in a multiple times. Yes, that's so it could be. All of una, but una go pata, T-pain, everything. Well, that they make us to go through. So be it. So my people, watch this video.
One of those who are concerned about the welfare and the legal representation of some of these suspects. I'm being joined by Ms. Funke Adeoye, who is a human rights working with the likes of Mr. Femi Falana, Detaining and Jude Chambers to fight for these children. But there seems to be some kind of communication problem here. The lawyers to the federal government in that matter, the lawyer to the state rather, said today that a lot of them are not minors. That some of them that we've seen in court today were just, they came with their parents and their adults. Is that true?
No. We were in court today observing proceedings. And you could clearly see children in court today. Also to say that this matter did not begin today. It began in August after the protest, when a number of people were picked up from different parts of the country which included minors. A remand order, an ex parte order, was actually granted by Court 9 of the Federal High Court. And when you look at the remand order, the names of 75 protesters were included in that order. And out of those names, we had minors. Their ages were clearly written on the motion paper. So they were remanded ex parte for 60 days under the Anti-Terrorism Act. Now, immediately after the 60 days, we're expecting the government to charge or arraign this set of persons. But what we found out was just about 10 of the names that were in that motion paper were arraigned. And so the law firm of Femi Falana and Deji Adeyanju decided to file a fundamental human rights action to ask the government to do something about the children. We're in court last week, and the situation that happened today was an aftermath of the fact that fundamental human rights action was filed to say, where are these children? Because we and a lot of other advocacy organizations knew that indeed children were being arrested. We didn't know their whereabouts. Some of us had gone to Kuje Correctional Facility to find out, only to find out that they were at the IRT. So what happened today is an aftermath of the fundamental human rights action that civil society organizations and the law firm of these human rights activists actually filed. Okay, so today is the first appearance, is the arraignment. Yes. The charges were read to them. Yes. And they, one after the other, yes, they answer to their not guilty yes, to the charges. Yes. What about the fundamental human rights action that was filed? It's still pending in court, and we're still going to continue. Okay, yes. I mean, that means it might be taking pari passu with the matter, isn't it? Yes. Okay, now let's look at it. Out of about 75, 75 people were brought to court today. Yes, but were there any adults there? There were adults. About 38 of them were minors. About 38 of them were minors. Okay. Yes, but they were also adults. Out of 75, yes, about 38 of them were minors. Yes. Okay. Now, give us an understanding, because I know there is a juvenile justice system in Nigeria, which also take cognizance of the Child Rights Act of 2003, isn't it? Yes. And it also says the procedure for which a child under our law, a child is less than 18 years. Yes. That's seen as a minor, can be tried in Nigeria courtroom. Were those procedures breached today? So again, I will have to take us back to how we started, because it's not just today. It's the fact that these children have been kept in detention longer than they should be. Unlawfully. So they're unlawfully. So they are right to pass by the Nigerian state. Yes. By the Nigerian police. Yes. Isn't it? Yes. They've been kept in different police custodies. Yes. Alongside, were they kept in adult prisons or children prisons? Their right to personal liberty and fair hearing under Section 35 and 36 has already been violated, because but the fact that they stayed longer than necessary. Yes, yes. Were they kept in adult? From all our understanding, they have been at the IRT. That's the Intelligence Response Team, which is colloquially known as abattoir. So imagine keeping children in a place. Why is it being tagged abattoir? I guess there are several reasons for that, but there are lots of stories about the kind of things that happened there. And when you see the children that were in court today, not only would you see malnourishment, not only would you see starvation, you would see fear in their faces. The child that fainted, I mean, I assume there was a child from some of the pictures. Unfortunately, we are not permitted by the rules guiding our profession to reveal the faces of the, and that's why they are blurred in a manner in which you can see, I mean, you can see on the screen right now. The fellow who fainted is a boy, isn't it? Yes. How old is he? From the motion paper, we have 14-year-olds, we have 12, we have 13, we have 15. So it's actually very surprising to me to hear the prosecution say the children that were in court today came to visit their parents, because even the police, the child that fainted, even the police had to take some of these children, it wasn't just one child, had to take some of them out to get some form of health care today during court. Yes. So not only that they were kept longer than necessary, they were also being, it looked, and the inference that you are giving tonight is that they were being badly treated. Anybody that saw them in court today, anyone that saw the videos that are going around, you can see that these children are badly treated. They are malnourished. They look like they've been starved. I mean, some lawyers in court today had to crowdfund money to just quickly get food for them. That's how bad it was. That's how bad it looked today.
Now, there is an adjournment. The motion for their bail was moved today in court.
And I think we need to talk about the bail conditions as well.
Justice Egwuatu agreed to the bail conditions, isn't it?
The bail conditions are very stringent. I mean, the provision of the law is very clear on bail. Bail is not supposed to be punitive. Dogo versus the state. The law is very clear on that. Now, these children who were supposedly being tried for treason and who were actually protesting against hunger and suffering in the land were given very stringent bail conditions, 10 million naira, 2 sureties. One of them has to be a civil servant of level 15. And, you know, a family member. I think that is really stringent, considering the fact that these children are coming from, you know, different parts of the country, different parts of the north, where it's obvious that they can't even feed well. By the way, some of them, their parents have been around as well, and their parents are residing in different uncompleted buildings across the country. Yes, because their children, I mean, they don't, for a while, they never knew the whereabouts of their children.
So is the fundamental enforcement proceeding that was filed, is it based on the Child Rights Act or based on the allocation?
It's based on the Constitution. The Constitution says everyone has a right to fair hearing, Section 36. Everyone has a right to personal liberty, Section 35. But these children have been kept in custody. I mean, an ex parte order was granted, like I mentioned earlier, for 60 days. But after the 60 days, they were not charged. They were not arraigned.
It's also the duty of the state to cater for a child.
Absolutely.
The reason why I'm asking is that, yes, you can file a fundamental enforcement suit in that regard of enforcement of the right of any citizen, which can be an adult or a child. But again, the perspective to this is the fact that any child that is found in this kind of manner, the state is responsible for every child under the Child Right. It's a failure of the state in the first place to find a child roaming the street on not in classroom and all that, and that's why I'm putting the perspective whether or not that is also included in the angle into the right of enforcement.
Absolutely.
Voila. My people, Nigeria, it is really well with us. So guys, what do you think about this whole issue? Feel free to drop your thoughts in the comment section. Till I come your way next time. Stay good and be good to others. Bye.